Welcome back to opinionsarefree.com. It's a casual Wednesday, but I do have a question for you. Now, we in North America have an incredible, country or a group of countries to live in. Canada, U.S., the rule of law, relative safety. Many people want to come to our countries to have a better life, and there's such an influx of undocumented immigration, especially from South America, right now coming through the southern borders. And there are opinions as to whether or not you should just have open borders and let people come in, and also on whether or not you should have restricted borders so that you can have a better idea of who's coming in. So I think there are arguments on both sides. However, let me ask you a question. Let's not be naive about this. When you have tens of thousands of children, all right, who are not supervised, who are coming across the border, are you absolutely sure in your head, in your heart, that all of these children are there voluntarily, and none of them are being trafficked, none of them are being pushed across the border to serve as sex slaves to abusive people who just want to do their thing? Look, there's plenty of evidence that this is happening. And again, you have your opinion, I have mine, but I think if you think for a moment that all these undocumented children are just happy to be going across the border, that their parents are just going to push them across the border and say, yeah, go find a better life, you 12-year-old in North America, I think you're incredibly naive. And in some ways, I think you're part of the problem, right? That's a little more severe than we usually post on this site, I understand, but this is a horrendous issue. Same thing is happening with Europe and the influx of undocumented migrants coming from Africa. I understand that many people just want to find a better life for themselves and their families. But again, there is an incredibly profitable business around human smuggling. And much of that human smuggling is specifically to fulfill the sex trade. And we're not talking about 18 or 19-year-old adults who make that decision. We're talking about children who are incredibly young, even down to infant age, who are abused. And the authorities understand this, but for whatever reason, they just can't get a handle on it. They can't stop it. And part of the reason I think is because you have such a, and I don't want to label it as liberal specifically, but liberal thinking, well, you just let everyone in and everything will be okay and everyone will be happy. And again, it's not really a political a stamp on those people. I'm just saying it's more of a viewpoint. But let's not call it liberal. Let's just call it unrealistic, wishful thinking, or just downright evil way of thinking that, you think that you can just open the borders and nothing bad will ever come of it. If that's the case, then by all means, leave your door unlocked at night and see if nothing bad comes of it. Leave your car unlocked with your wallet on the dash and see if nothing bad comes of it. You decide on what you want to believe and what you want to support, but there is a huge problem with human smuggling, and many of those children are going to live incredibly hard and tragic lives, and many of them are going to die because of the abuse. Just use your brains for a second and think of what 150-pound adults can do to a 5-year-old child. I think really this can be very disturbing, and in many ways people would rather just shut their eyes and say, I can't believe it's happening. I'm sure the cops will take care of it. I'm sure that it's not that bad. And you slowly, the problem becomes worse and worse until you say, oh my gosh, wasn't anyone doing anything about it? So maybe you're the one who should do something about it, like post your opinion, and also write your local politician to say, can you do something about the situation? I think we're all in a situation now where we feel like our hands are tied because politics is so messy, so stupid, so corrupt right now that we don't feel we can find anyone who can actually get something done. And that's unfortunate. And perhaps it's our own doing for voting for people with nice faces and nice smiles rather than people who answer actual questions with actually policy that makes sense. That's another problem we can talk to in another post. Okay, so if you have an opinion on the border situation from whatever country you happen to be in, whether it's in North America or whether you're in Europe, post it on opinionsarethree.com. You just get on, go to the flag, leave your comment. Please leave your name and community. You don't have to put your last name. You don't have to put a phone number. You don't have to put a website. We're not going to take those. You don't have to put an email. No one's going to contact you from the site. All right? And it's either approved or it's not approved. And keep in mind that you cannot comment on a previous post, or you simply post your own comment and let the readers get whatever information they want out of those comments, and they can then post as they wish. I'm rambling on, so I'm just going to stop right now. But again, opinionsarethree.com, and I'd love to hear from you. Thanks. Bye.